Fine. So in today's session, we will understand the subtractor circuit. So out of which we will understand what is a subtractor, why do we need a subtractor, how does it work, and some analysis. Okay, design part will take somewhat later. So subtractor is a circuit which subtracts two signals. It can be done by uh, using adder with one signal inverted. It means you need, suppose there is a V1 and V2 you want to subtract. So V1 as it is, V2 inverted, gain -1, and then you add these two signals. So output will be V1 minus V2. But here you need one op amp, here one more op amp. So you need two op amps. So instead of two op amps, we can get this done using only one op amp. So conventional approach is to use adder with one signal inverter. This is simple to understand. This is the block diagram. But if we do that, two op amps are needed. We want to do it in one op amp. V output, V1, V2. For time being, we'll keep all resistors equal. What happens if the resistors are unequal? We can take somewhat later. Okay. So this is the circuit. Both the inputs are with respect to ground. So a common ground at the input is shown. So V1 is with respect to ground. V2 is also with respect to ground. It means V1 is to be connected this way, and V2 is also to be connected this way. I hope the things are clear. So showing one ground does not mean that the circuit is incomplete. Fine. Yes. Why? Because resistor is a linear component and op amp is also linear component. Op amp has two regions of operation. One is linear region and the other one is saturation region. So saturation is from both the sides, plus saturation and minus saturation. Okay, so but the linear portion of that we wish to use. So whatever diagram I had drawn, whatever I have drawn here may not be complete, but let me show you the characteristics of op amp, input and output. So when the input increases, the output will increase as far as invert Vp minus Vin is concerned. Okay, and when the output goes to saturation, maximum limit, it will be constant. Okay, and this is the gain of the op amp. Okay, so whatever we have drawn is for this, and we are going to use this portion of the characteristics. Therefore, we call it as a linear. So this linear portion we use. Everybody understood this? So if you are asked, is op amp linear device or non-linear device? You should answer that it depends on how you use it. You can use linear portion of it or non-linear portion of it if you like. It depends on you. But if the question is asked for resistor, then the resistor is always a linear because it always obeys the Ohm's law. There is nothing like saturation in resistor. Everybody understood this? Right. So if this circuit, if the op amp linear, if the op amp is the op amp linear, if this is the question, the answers can be yes, the answer can be no, the answer can be depends how you use it. Okay, so what is the correct answer for op amp? Y and D. D. Very good. Now you are getting the correct answer. Very good. So let me rub out the character of the op amp. So circuit is linear because we are using resistors and the op amp in linear region. Because the circuit is linear, we can use superposition theorem. Therefore, we can use superposition theorem. Right. So with the superposition theorem, V1 is considered in case 1, V1 is considered to be there and V2 is considered to be 0. In other case, the reverse case will be there. So in this condition, let me make the V2 0. If V2 is 0, this will be 0 volt. This will be 0 volt. If this is 0 volt, then you can consider this to be ground. And when this is ground, it becomes inverting amplifier. Therefore, circuit becomes inverting amplifier. Therefore, VO will be minus of RF by R1, that is minus 1 into V1, that is minus V1. Is this clear? Everybody understood this? Any query? Yes or no? No. No query. Good. So we'll go to the second case, V2. V2 is there and V1 is equal to 0. Now the circuit becomes like this. The circuit becomes like this. So V2 will be there and this is grounded now and V2 is present. Okay, so R, and R. Okay, so if we look at this circuit, what will happen is V2, because there are two resistors, this and this, the non-inverting terminal voltage will be V2 by 2 because equal resistors are there. Fine. And this particular circuit is a non-inverting amplifier. Now this amplifier has gain 1 plus RF by R1, where RF is this and R1 is this. Right? Both are equal. So the gain is actually 2 in this case. Right? And the input is this. The input is this. Okay. So this input is getting amplified because of these two resistors, which is forming what is called as non-inverting amplifier, whose gain is 2. Okay. So what is this voltage? It is this V2 minus V2 by 2. By what amount it will be amplified? Please tell that. By what amount it will be amplified? By 2. So it will be multiplied by 2. So it becomes V2. So output will be V2. Okay. So let me write down here VO dash is equal to minus V1 and VO double dash is equal to 2 times V2 minus V2 by 2, that is V2. And third case, that is VO is equal to VO dash plus VO double dash is equal to minus V1 plus V2, that is V2 minus V1. So this is a subtractor circuit. So whatever circuit we have drawn here is a subtractor. Hope you have understood this. Everybody understood this? Okay. So if you have drawn it, that's well and good. If you have not drawn it, you can quickly draw it. If the resistors are unequal, what will happen? This is the activity that I will hand over to you. So please go through the derivation. If all resistors are unequal. Not when all resistors are equal, we have done this, and VO is found to be V2 minus V1. Now, many times students get confused whether to write V2 minus V1 or V1 minus V2. Listen carefully. Many times students get confused whether we should write V2 minus V1 or V1 minus V2. But a very simple thing to remember is that, let me draw the circuit. Let me draw the circuit once again. So if the circuit is like this, it will be always like this. Suppose if I write here Vy and if I write here Vx, then what will be the output? So to remember this, whatever is going towards non-inverting should have positive sign, and whatever goes with inverting side should have negative sign. So what shall I write here? Vx minus Vy or Vy minus Vx? Yes, Vx minus. Now this is clear. Simple to remember and understand. So henceforth, no mistake. Okay. If somebody writes VQ minus VQ and VP, then the output will be VP minus VQ or VQ, whatever. I hope this is clear. Okay. So no mistake in output is expected. Okay. Now let me give you a situation. Sunil has assembled the circuit. Now this question is similar to what you will get in examination. So listen carefully. So Sunil has given V1 is equal to 2 volt, V2 is equal to 3 volt, and all resistors in the initial phase are equal. R is equal to 1K. We'll start with a very simple thing. So find out VP, VN and VO. चलो अभी करो. So everybody should do that. VP is equal to 1.5, which is correct because this is a resistor divider. This is a resistor divider of equal resistors. What will be Vn? Vn कितना है? Vo, it's okay. Vo is 1 volt. Vn. Okay. So let me ask questions. Is there feedback? Is there feedback? Yes or no? Yes. Is output in linear region? Yes or no? Hello? Yes or no? Yes. Then the third question is, can we apply virtual short? And if we apply, what will be Vn? कितना टाइम लगता है? 1.5. So everybody understood this? Now let me write down 1.5 volts here. Here there is a 2 volt. So will the current flow from right, left to right or right to left? Left to right means this. What will be the value of current? Use Ohm's law. 0.5 milliampere. Correct. So the current is like this, 0.5 milliampere. Right. Now let us concentrate on this junction and tell me, out of this 0.5 milliampere, how much will go inside op amp? Ideal op amp. 0. So there won't be any current here. So whatever current is there, it will fully pass here. It will fully pass here. So what will be the current through the feedback resistor? 0.5 milliamp. The direction obviously will be like this. Okay. So obviously I can write plus and minus here. Then what is the drop? How much will be the drop? ये drop कितना होगा? Voltage drop. Find out the drop. 0.5 volt. 0.5 volt. लेफ्ट साइड पे कितना वोल्टेज है यहाँ? यहाँ कितना है? How much is the voltage at this point? 1.5. और ड्रॉप कितना हो गया? 0.5. 1.5 में से ड्रॉप 0.5, तो आउटपुट कितना आएगा? 1 volt. This is what is coming by formula, as one of you answered. Okay, look at now the circuit. Circuit has equal resistors and the output will be equal to something minus something. Now something is this, that is V2 minus V1, because V2 is connected to non-inverting terminal. So what shall I write here? V2 minus V1. V2 is 3 volt, V1 is 2 volt, that is 1 volt. So you go by formula or you apply virtual short concept. you are going to get the same result. Is this fine? Okay, good, good. Fine. So I will give you one more situation and you spend some 5 minutes. So that there will be some mental break. There will be some activity after some discussion. And an activity after some discussion is always good because then everybody will start thinking and doing the things. Would you like to do the things or listen for a long time? D or L? Small things after small break, small discussion. Do the things or listen? D or L? D. Okay. So let me give you one more situation in which Sunil was there. So Sunil has one more situation. Now the registers we will change. Okay. So we'll change it 4K and 4K. I think we'll do it different. 4K and 8K. Though these registers may not be exactly available, for sake of calculation we will do that. So please draw the circuit so that you will have some practice of drawing the circuit. So the input is 5 volt and one more input is minus 3 volt and this is 1K and this is 2K. Now the resistors are unequal, so you cannot apply formula, but you apply virtual short concept and find out VO. Now before we proceed, let us listen how do we analyze the circuit in which we assume ideal op amp. Okay, actually this is part of the syllabus which is ideal op amp circuit analysis. This is actually we have been doing this and we will do it throughout this semester. But the process of ideal op amp analysis is as follows. Let me write it for you. Number one, so write down process of analyzing ideal op amp based circuit. Number one is make sure that all components are linear. If they are not linear, there will be different process. This process will not apply. All components must be there. So components means what? There will be op amp and assuming assume it to be using linear region. If it is not using linear region, then the whole process we will discard. This is not the process. But initially we see that components must be linear, out of which one component is op amp. Then resistors, capacitors, inductors will be there. But mostly we will limit to ourselves to resistors and capacitors after some time. And in few cases we'll use inductor. So many cases there will be resistors, few cases there will be resistor capacitor, and very few cases there may be some inductor. Now why inductor is uh, will appear in few circuits? Because inductors are bulky. Because you have to have a coil and then wind it and so on. Okay, and it needs copper, so costly. Then inductor cannot be fit inside IC. Okay. For example, if you want to build a special purpose chip or which has all the components like resistor, capacitor, inductor inside one IC, then you cannot put one inductor inside the IC. So solid state devices do not allow us to put the inductor inside the IC. Everybody understanding this? Ah. So most of our circuits will have op amp because without op amp we cannot do any analog computation. Should have resistors. In some cases there will be capacitors and inductors will be almost small inductors, small number of inductors. And if there are there, then it will be a discrete circuit like SMPs in your mobile charger. Right. But there will be inductors. You cannot avoid inductors. It is not like the inductor को छोड़ दो और so just throw it. ऐसा नहीं इंडक्टर जब लगेगा तो लगेगा ही. So that is there. The only thing that inductors are in less number of circuits in our curriculum because they have some disadvantages. But there are circuits where it is mandatory to use inductor and then the discrete components are used. So whatever we can push inside an IC, we will push inside an IC. Whatever we cannot push inside IC, like an inductor or transformer, it will be kept outside. And then they together, IC plus transformer inductor together will make a system or subsystem, like SMPs of your mobile charger. समझ में आ गया? So process of analyzing ideal op amp based circuit. All components must be linear. Then second thing, apply, not apply, assume output of op amp to be in linear region or not in saturation. This is what we assume actually. What happens in the real circuit will be computed. Assume output of op amp to be in not in saturation. Third, apply normal laws like Ohm's law, Thevenin's theorem, then superposition theorem, etc. to find output. Now, while doing this, always start from circuit around non-inverting terminal. Always start from analyzing circuit around non-inverting. Now, again, the question is why? This is because if you look at the circuit, this is a representative circuit. If we start around calculation of output voltage or circuit condition around inverting terminal, this voltage is not known because this is dependent on input which is known, but also dependent on output which is not known. So therefore, we cannot compute this because output is not known, right? But if you look at this is known, this is known, okay, and there is no dependency other than this. Resistors are known, everything is known, so this can be computed. Therefore, always start with the non-inverting terminal because it is independent. Non-inverting terminal voltage is typically independent, and inverting terminal voltage is dependent on the output because there is a feedback. Everybody understanding this? So always start with calculating Voltage at non-inverting terminal, not inverting terminal. Yes or no? Everybody agrees with this? Yes. So with this in mind, we will always start with this. So and calculate what? VP, that is voltage at non-inverting terminal. Okay. Then what is to be done? Apply which concept? Virtual short concept. Why we can apply it? Because we assumed that the circuit is linear and the output is not in saturation. Now applying virtual short concept means what? Vn is equal to Vp. So Vp is already calculated. Vn is the same. With Vn known, analyze circuit around inverting terminal to find VO. This is the process. Okay. Now, if we find that VO is less than plus minus Vsat, that is the maximum voltage at which the op amp can go with limited power supply voltage. So VO is less than Vsat. It means in linear region. Then our calculations or assumptions are correct and calculations are also correct. So our assumptions are valid and output is correct. Else means what? The output is else means VO is greater than plus minus Vsat or equal to, already saturated. Then what to do? Then our assumptions are not correct. That is, output is not saturation. All assumptions are not correct. Not valid. And output is calculated output is not correct. Output will be either plus or minus Vsat. Not as per formula. Okay. Then what to do? Then replace op amp output by a battery of either plus or minus Vsat, because the op amp is working as a battery only, because its output is not changing. It is stuck to plus Vsat or minus Vsat depending on our circuit condition.